All right, guys, fresh day, fresh hotel. We got a couple things on the ledger to discuss today. I'm gonna be on the bike, so if it looks like I'm just awkwardly moving right here, that's why. It's come on the bike. Maybe I'll have my hands on the thing. Maybe I'll be like this, but we have a good one to go over. Number one is going to be what we look for in people around us, or at least what I've come to the slight conclusion of as to the kinds of people that I want to have around me in my life. And just a bit of the vision for the future, and just thinking like 10 years down the line, which I did a bunch of thinking today alongside my mom, who is here with me in Greensboro, North Carolina for just one more day today, which was our last night here together in Greensboro before she heads back and I get back to work. We've got another client that we're working with tomorrow, who is a aesthetic spa owner who I also met inside of a business coaching group, which is very exciting that we're going to be getting to hit up 2 clients in one area, and we're going to freaking smash this tomorrow. So very excited. So number one, I want to go over the conclusion I've came to in a very broad brush stroke of the kinds of people that I like hanging around with. And I'll do so by talking about a very specific situation. So if you're in a random city and you have no idea what to do, are you reliant on the activities to do to have fun? Or will you be able to go with the flow and just having a good time, an enjoyable time with the person that you're with, regardless of what those activities are? For me, my mom is a great example of that. We've gone to a bunch of different cities together, and honestly, dude, we're in Greensboro, North Carolina. I personally don't know what there really is to do that's massively fun here, other than different restaurants. Maybe I'm sleeping on certain things, but to me, it's just a matter of being able to go to different places, regardless of what they are, and enjoy just the company with the person. Now, I'll tell you something that helped me get over my first relationship. I was very depressed afterwards, bro, very upset. And I read a book that was if you had to go on a 2-week vacation with a person and you could not touch each other at all, there was no sex, no intimacy, no nothing. You couldn't even touch. And you just had to hang out for 2 weeks. And you couldn't even touch each other. You could only just talk and hang out. Would it be enjoyable? Or would you feel like you were getting bored and wanting to go back home? Or would it even be a bad experience? And I was like, wow. It really is important to logically want to be around the people that you're doing this thing called life with. So it's regardless of what the circumstances are, do you want to hang out with this person? And of course, there's going to be very few people when you look at it from that very sober perspective. One of the things I learned when I stopped drinking was you don't do things you don't want to do. You wouldn't naturally want to go out to a club or naturally want to go out to a bar. You just do it because you're drinking. You can just be very fluid and whatever happens, it's just a release. So don't hang out with people you don't want to hang out with. Look at it from a logical perspective, and don't do things you don't want to do. Because if we just do things that we want to do, I'm not talking work. There's gonna be work things that we don't want to do that we have to do. But in terms of activity, it's important we just do things we want to do with people we want to do them with. And that being said, I just wanted to go over a bit of the roadmap for where I see the next 5 to 10 years of my life going, because the more I think and the more I journal on this, the more it's yes, I want to have a massive business. I think I'll be a billionaire, genuinely. But what would I rather have? $500 million net worth and family that I've been able to create that I love and that loves me, and we're a very tight-knit unit, or $1 billion and not that? I would opt for the family every single time. So what I've been doing right now is I'm 23, my younger brother's 20, and we are both very close with our parents, our mom and dad. And I want to start planning for what that life looks like together in the future, because I don't want to live in my hometown where everybody in my family currently lives other than myself, but I want to be with my family. So I think a couple steps ahead of what's a city that we would all want to live in, that has business prosperity, the weather we want, time zone, the accessibility to the airport, everything that all of us want in one city. So we just start to think about that, because that's not something, like if we want to do something legendary in life, have to do it with a bit of intention. It's not just gonna fall into our lap. Sometimes things fall into our lap. Sometimes we get lucky with things. But we can't operate hoping for luck. If we operate thinking that luck doesn't exist, then we're able to work so hard that regardless of whether there's luck or not, we succeed. And sometimes we do get lucky. So it's like compound, work hard, get lucky on top of it, but don't plan for getting lucky. So I'm planning, I'm saying, hey, we got to start taking a look at some cities. What do we want to do? Because I want to sit down, build an office, start to set roots, start to really make some good friends that'll last a lifetime, and start getting into the dating pool and really try and find my wife, because I think that's something you have to do with very much intention. So I want to say, hey, let's pick a city and I'll start putting it on the board. So I've opened up those discussions with my family, because I journal on Christmas 2040 all the time. What does that look like? I see it happening at my house. All family coming to big mansion with a bunch of cool toys that are there that everyone can see and kids can look up to, and just say like, hey, this is what's possible. And my brother will have one right down the street, my mom will have one right down the street, and the list goes on. So it's just top of mind for me today, specific, and just talking with my mom at dinner of just what the future holds and being very intentional about it. And I think I did a 4 out of 10 job of explaining the vision here on video for today's upload. And I think that that's a bit of a concern for me, because I think regardless of how tired you are, regardless of what emotional drag you've had on the week, regardless of how much sleep you got, regardless of if you're working out or whatever you're doing, should be able to articulate the vision very well. And I think that's something that I need to get more clear on. Maybe make it a phone wallpaper or something. But either way, almost dropped it. Takeaways from today: number 1, matters a ton who you hang out with. Do you actually want to hang out with the people you're around, or are you just doing it because you feel you might be lonely? Newsflash: if you cut people off, you'll be lonely short term, but much more fulfilled long term, because you'll be around people that you actually want to be around. Number 2, plan the future and work like a maniac towards it. And even if you don't know the exact point on the map that you want to go for, odds are you know the direction you want to go in, so start walking in that direction. Because if you're not planning for the future is going to come slap you in the face and you get a mixed bag. And I personally don't want a mixed bag of a life. I want to design it. So I'm gonna wrap up this workout, get a good one in the flannel, because it's getting cold here. I'm used to the Arizona desert. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.